So apparently only a few weeks away from the September Nintendo Direct, but now what happened to the August Nintendo Direct? Originally everyone across the internet was like, yeah, we're going to be getting the Legend of Zelda 40th Anniversary Direct, or at the bare minimum, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Nintendo Direct. But now, if you looked at it, this hasn't happened yet. So this might be the final chance for Nintendo to bring us something amazing, something unforgettable. It's not too uncommon for Nintendo to decide to wait it out just a little bit to get their head in the game and to show us what they have planned and what they have to offer during this Nintendo Switch 2 era. If we were going to look at it, Nintendo doesn't really have much to showcase. If you're going to see the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, that's a game that is going to be coming out later at the end of the year, but is part of the 40th anniversary. But you also have Nintendo Switch Sports Resort, Fire Emblem Fortune Weave, and that's pretty much it. Apparently the Dust Bloods are going to be coming out later in the year as well, but we haven't really seen any more confirmation for that. The only other confirmation for the Dust Bloods is getting a showcase this weekend, I believe, which is from the 22nd to the 23rd. Could be wrong about that. But honestly, it is definitely really interesting. So now you really got to ask yourself the question, are we still going to be getting something for Zelda, or is that going to be pushed over to the September Nintendo Direct? Well, honestly, I was in the high group of people that was like, yeah, we're going to be getting a Zelda sort of 40th anniversary celebration, because this is the year to be excited. This is the year to celebrate. It's 40 years for arguably the biggest franchise in Nintendo history. Yes, Mario is pretty big, but when you look at The Legend of Zelda, that has Nintendo fans like everywhere, which is definitely really crazy. But now if we were going to look at the information, usually in August, it's a 50-50 chance. Sometimes we see a Pokemon Present, which conveniently enough, we didn't see anything for Pokemon in August, nor did we see anything for Pokemon in July. So you might be saying, what is going on for Pokemon as well? The 30th anniversary celebration is this year, and so far, seems like Pokemon fans have really been getting rocks for Christmas, I would say. Rocks for Pokemon's birthday or anniversary. It's definitely really interesting here. They definitely have to announce something, and would have thought for sure we're going to be getting a Nintendo Direct in August at some point. But does this mean that it's not going to be happening at all? Does this mean that we can just, walk away because nothing's going to be happening? Hold on to your horses. There's definitely a possibility still for the last week of August to showcase something brilliant, something wonderful. Because if you're really going to look at it, in September, you're going to see the general Nintendo Direct, and probably that's it. But with this general Direct, you're most likely going to see a bunch of games to set up for next year, and also more games for this year, which could include a number of different games. Once I get some more information, we'll definitely make a video of that. But for now, 3D Mario, potentially, for like that September Direct. If you're going to do 3D Mario, you're most likely not going to like squish everything together. That's going to be the end reveal. That's going to be like a big showcase. Probably not, but just something. You don't really want to squish it over, but I guess technically it is a possibility to do something like that. You're also most likely going to be seeing something else, maybe another remaster or remake, or like Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, I guess, if they're not going to do a Pokemon Presents, but usually this is something that they definitely do. Overall, I found all of these things to be definitely really interesting. There are so many things that Nintendo has, let's just say, forgotten about, because, oh boy, if you were going to look at it, for sure, a August Nintendo Direct definitely makes sense, or should we say Zelda's 40th anniversary, because then they can showcase more and more on Ocarina of Time. If you looked at it, Ocarina of Time, we really have nothing for this game. Nintendo Switch Sports, we have nothing for this game. Fire Emblem Fortune, we got something, and it's definitely really interesting, but besides that, you would have thought for sure we would be getting more and more things for Zelda's 40th, something to celebrate, something to be like, hey, Nintendo Switch 1 users can play this game. And even if you were to look at the special edition Nintendo Switch 2, potentially this is something that they also would have announced, something to say, yeah, this is Zelda's 40th, and this is during the special 40th anniversary Nintendo Direct. Plus, you got like a blacked out Triforce, which potentially could have linked to a Link Between Worlds, which definitely is a possibility. So, honestly, have this expectation to see something during August, because August has been a pretty boring month for video games, let me tell ya. The ideas, not there. The news from Nintendo, not there. It's pretty much been a ghost town with nothing going for it besides, I guess, summer, and then being disappointed that summer's over. Maybe that's exactly what Nintendo's doing. Getting back into the groove and then saying, hey, summer, you employees can have fun with that. When we move over to, I don't know, September, we're gonna get our groove back. We're gonna put our head in the game and start going. That's potentially exactly what their plan is. If you were going to look at it, if they don't have much to showcase from the September moving forward, which wouldn't make sense unless they're planning to have a Nintendo Direct in January once again instead of all the way until June, well then they're going to have to do something here. They're going to have to announce something, which it would be absolutely amazing. Unless this is how they're going to do it. Exactly what they did with the Mario sort of Direct. Because if you don't remember, it's not the Mario Direct. That was definitely a really interesting one. There was some good things. There was some bad things. There was overall just a mediocre Direct. But you looked at that and you realized, okay, we saw the movie. Which, conveniently enough, we're going to be seeing the movie for Zelda. We also saw a remaster, a brand new game, and also, what is it? Was it even a remaster or was it just ports? I believe it was just ports. And then we saw a couple other things. With Zelda on that hand, potentially that's going to be happening. The Zelda movie, the remaster for Ocarina of Time, which I guess you can consider it as a brand new experience because it's not really like the Mario Galaxy 1+2. So instead of Mario Tennis, let's just stick Mario or the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time there. And then potentially we could be seeing the ports. I guess this is a way that they can do it, but come on, Nintendo. I was really hoping to see the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Nintendo Direct or something for the Legend of Zelda, because after all, it is the biggest series. I'm just saying, yes, 3D Mario is big, but not that big. I'm just saying. Hey, the Legend of Zelda, you know, don't hate me for saying this, but I think that's the biggest one, even though Mario's their mascot for some reason. But overall, what are your thoughts on all of this? Do you think that we are going to be seeing a Nintendo Direct for sort of August? Or was the final chance to be getting anything just a reality that is not going to be happening? Overall, it's the final chance. So I still have my high hopes for something to be going on, because I still think something's going to be going on. We didn't even see anything for August. Remember that big leak that we're going to be getting like a partner showcase, Zelda 40th Anniversary Direct, a Nintendo Direct, and whatever 3 months in advance or something like that. Like July was going to be a partner, or was going to be a Pokemon Presents, and then we were going to be seeing Zelda, and then we were going to be seeing like the actual Nintendo. What happened to that? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Consider it that like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. We do a bunch of different Nintendo content on the channel. Anyways, thank you so much. See you in the next one.